What's up, everyone? It's Jeremy Lastman here for your daily disrupt. Today is Monday, December 21st, 2020. Almost done with 2020. 2021 almost upon us, isn't it? Today, I want to talk about control and the fear of protecting ourselves, the need to protect ourselves. And I just want to disrupt the concepts of control and kind of where they're rooted from, and shake some things up a bit, because I consider myself to be a recovering perfectionist. And with perfectionism and high sensitivity, there is so much kind of hands that are attempting to control something to be perfect. And this can apply on a artistic side, but it can also apply on a need for everything to be good and right, and however you kind of subjectively define taking the image, the ideal of what life, circumstances, reality should be like, or what it should be like, and finding a way to make it live up to that by controlling conditions and circumstances and people and things to line up with that kind of ideal version of perfectionism. And where this disruption kind of goes for me is feeling the depth, the root of control in as far as, does it feel like a force? Does it feel forced? Forced control is inherently being fueled by some fear. By some fear that if things aren't gonna go exactly to the perfect image, that somehow means, at its core, it means death. And when I shook this up for myself, and when I reevaluated and reinvented and reimagined what the hell control actually meant to me, what I discovered was first that force, but also a mistrust, a distrust with magic. And I know that might seem like a weird word to bring into this, but go back to when you were a child, and really the power of control wasn't present, maybe as any or if much, because there is an innocence. And within that innocence, there is an inherent trust and flow with life as it will occur, without too much force to make it something that it might not be. And when we draw that in to control and magic, man, feel what things could be if you didn't have the stranglehold of forced control on everything. What would life feel like if you could drop and let go of the reins that you think you are holding on so tightly so that life goes a certain way? And letting go isn't this is where things get very fine-tuned and precise for me, because letting go doesn't mean just kind of foregoing your conscious energy, but it's getting more subtle on how you are helming your vehicle, or how you are uh, steering this ship of yourself in consciousness. Because when we're doing it from this element of self-conscious dynamics, which means force and fear and survival, we're using a lot of fuel. And that's what leaves us feeling drained, leaves us feeling wiped and stressed and anxious and all of those things. But when we add and we eliminate by adding self-awareness to this game, to this vehicle, this ship metaphor, it lightens up the relationship between you and your intelligence, between you and your brain, between your brain and your passion, between your passion and the existence that you are connected to when you let go so tightly in such a real way that you're holding on to. But it's when there's the lightness, the game, the fun, the play, the magic, then you can feel with that kind of detached ease of control, but also not control. It is such a subtle, nuanced kind of way in which you can experiment with the buttons, the levers, the knobs that make changes, but from a pure place of innocence that is unaffected by the good and bad that you were trying to previously control so with such a grip. And when you disrupt those survival of the fittest based controlling mechanisms, and you find the muscles and you practice the lighter muscles of mastering your own consciousness, mastering your quantum self, then you have much more fun leveling up in the game, in the realms that we're talking about, where it's not about control, it's about flow. It's about flow, not force. And it completely changes your reality. It makes magic and miracles so much more accessible, and it unlocks your imagination to go beyond the limits of the limited box of reality of life that you are trying to control by helming the ship in the self-conscious way that you were conditioned to think of it as. Changes everything. So go play with that. Let me know what you think, and let me know kind of what results happen when you make that perceptual shift between control and actually the craft of your flow and your self-awareness to who and what you really are to your consciousness. I'll see you tomorrow.